Hello there, this is Databits here, and I hear that you have an interest in copying some old quadraphonic or stereo 8-track tapes over to MiniDisc. Well, I'm going to show you one way to do it, and this is a pretty fun way. I think you'll like this way. This way involves a few things, so let's start with the player recorder itself. This is the Yamaha MD4S multi-track MD recorder. It has the capability of recording on regular mini discs or on another format known as MD data. So let's look at those briefly. So with MD data, you have the ability to record 4 channels of discrete audio digitally on to this format. So MD data gives you 140 megabytes of data, but it also gives you 37 minutes of pure, beautiful digital recording time. So this would cover your 4-track 8-track tapes, 4-channel 8-track tapes. Then you can also do your 2-track tapes, like this Queen the Game album on 8-track. You can copy that using this machine to just a standard mini disc like many of you are familiar with. Okay, but you cannot do 4 channels on this 2-channel format. As to why they did it that way, I am not sure, but I guess it was a way to make some money because these discs are fairly scarce and expensive when you do find some. In my case, I was gifted this particular piece of equipment, so I was very excited to get it. I told the guy that gave it to me, he is my friend forever. Here are the other ingredients you're going to need. So of course you're going to need some 8-tracks and you're going to need the mini discs, but you're also going to need a player. In this case, I'm going to use my BSR Quad 8-track player. It's the only one I have. I have several 2-track recorders and players, but this is my only quad machine. It is a player only, and I have reviewed it on my channel before. It's fantastic. I don't hear an ounce of wow or flutter when playing cartridges on that machine. The next thing you're going to need are some cables. So in my case, I have converted my RCA outputs on this device to 3.5 millimeter because I can just connect it directly to little speakers like these. Very handy and up to date. But in this case, this machine requires 1/4-inch jacks, so I had to buy adapters to convert. So my 4 channels of input go across the top this way. And these first 2 happen to be combo inputs. So these are XLR as well as 1/4-inch. And then channels 3 and 4 are 1/4-inch only. So there is my front left, front right, back left, and right rear. All right. And then we have our 2 playback mediums to monitor those channels. So I have my Tronsmart 2-channel amplifier speaker here, and my Autumn, however that's pronounced, on the left side here handles the back 2 channels. Okay. Now you can also use headphones, and there is a headphone jack here on the front of the machine. A quick overview of how the machine works. We have our trims going across here. So these input trims tell the machine whether or not you're using a line input or a microphone, and you can set the level of each. Okay, so in this case, these are all line inputs. These are all directed to the left. I have these switches here. These switches indicate whether I'm recording or playing back those 3 channels or 4 channels or 2 channels, however I want to do it. You can also do mix recording, so you can like record something on channels 1 and 2, mix that into channel 3, erase channels 1 and 2 and put something new there, and then add something onto channel 4. It's very, very flexible on that regard. And of course, MiniDisc is random access, so you have the ability to rename tracks or rename songs or mark input outputs, song in, song out, that sort of thing. And all that's done with these buttons here. So in this case, it says I don't have a disc in, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my disc. And it tells me it's reading the table of contents, as you can see up here. It tells me I have a blank disc with 37 minutes of recording time. So in order to record, let's set it up with these record selects here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you'll see them flashing right here. Once I hit the record button down here, I am able to monitor what is being played through the system. So let's play something through the system and see the meters reflect that. So after I've got my settings set, my levels, which I do here, then I can go ahead, put the tape in, hit play, and I am now recording. All right, now to play that back, I simply hit stop. It says up here that it's writing to the table of contents. All right, it labels this as song 1. And in order to make this song 2, let's say I record a different song, what I have to do is split the song in half. And then once I split it, then I have 2 different tracks, or 2 different songs, as it calls them on here. All right, so to play this back, I just hit play. Actually, I got to go song search back, play. Okay, so there is my song that I've recorded. And let's say I change channels and record a different song. Okay, so that's my second song. Hit stop again, record the table of contents. Now at this point I have 2 recordings, but they're still on the same song. Okay, notice up here it still says song 1. So I want to go back and split these because they're actually 2 different songs. So I'm going to hit the last record search in. All right, then it shows up here 9 minutes and 16 seconds. Okay, so that's the place where I started recording the second time. So I want to go ahead and split these and make these 2 different songs. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the edit button up here and twirl this little guy around here. And I'm going to do the song divide. Okay, I called it split. It calls it divide. So I'm going to hit enter here. It says, are you sure you want to do that? Absolutely. It rewrites the table of contents, and then it puts my counter to 0. So now I'm on song 2, and I'm at 0 on that song. So now if I hit play, okay, that was my second song. Now I can go back to the song search here, go back to, hit play. There's my first selection playing again. Okay, there's my second selection. So it took a little bit for me to figure that part out, because I was like, okay, can't I just mark this as the next song? And maybe you guys know a different way, but I couldn't find out any other way of doing that. You have to split it. All right, so let me play a little bit of something, and I'll record it in stereo so you can kind of get a little bit of a stereo effect, even though it's 4 channels. Now, you can obviously mix all 4 channels down to stereo if you wanted to. You could do that. But in this case, I'm just going to kind of play front channels here and my back channels back here on this Autumn speaker to kind of give you an idea of what it sounds like. And I'm going to play you my favorite narrator, who happens to introduce us to 4-channel sound on this General Electric 8-track tape. Take a listen. This is really cool.
General Electric welcomes you to the world of 4-channel sound and invites you to enjoy an exciting new listening experience. When listening to the following announcements, please observe this procedure. First, make certain that each announcement emanates from the correct channel. Secondly, while listening, adjust your amplifiers so that the sound from each channel is of equal volume. Left channel front. Right channel front. Left channel back. Right channel back. Left channel front. Right channel front. Left channel back. Right channel back.
And there you have it. A really cool way to take something old and nostalgic like 8-track tapes, 4-track 8-track tapes, in this case, Quadraphonic, to a 4-track recorder, a more modern version. This was from the year 2000, so it's a 20-year-old device. Now, these Yamahas, you might be interested to know, are found rather cheaply online. I think you could probably pick one up for less than $100. So I'm not sure why they're so cheap. Maybe it's just because there's no demand for these. and maybe because of the form factor, the fact that it takes up half of a table to use it. But in any case, they're fun to find and a fun way to master your recordings. But before I let you go, please subscribe, share this video with a friend, hit that like button, and also hit the bell button. That way you're always notified of when I make a new video, and you'll be the first to see and the first to know. All right, so let's go ahead and hit play.